Hello, my name is Charlene DeChico. It is with sincere passion that I am eager to learn about people, culture, true history, and the overall human experience. Join with me as I embark on this journey. This is your Community Spotlight.
Are you addicted to drugs? Narcotics Anonymous can help. If you are interested in Narcotics Anonymous and cannot make it to a physical meeting, or are wanting to experience the Fellowship of Recovering Addicts online, visit virtual-na.org to learn more about online meetings and meetings over the phone.
Next on the docket, we have Chairman Mark Fox from the MHA Nation. And again, I'm pretty lucky in my world to have worked with Mark prior to him being chairman. He was a tax commissioner in between his term as a councilman for Lucky Mountain District. So in between that time, we did a lot of tax work together. And if you know anything about taxation in the country, it's very complex. It's very, very hard to do. And if there's one person I think throughout in the country who knows about tribal tax in the country, it's Mark Fox. I've seen him get called to various venues throughout the country to talk about our sovereignty of how we exercise tribal taxation on our lands. So it was some long days with Mark Fox as a tax commissioner. Those days, there's what I will call an unfair tax agreement at that time between the tribe and state that leaned heavily towards the state on their own oil reserves, and worked very hard. In fact, the legal for the governor at the time, for Governor Hoeven and Governor Dalrymple, said if Mark Fox ever becomes chairman, watch out North Dakota, because this guy really knows his stuff. And that legal person now is one of our Supreme Court justices in North Dakota. So it's definitely ran his course. And then since that time, when he left the tax office there, again, congratulations, condolences. He won chairmanship up there. And this is his third term. Again, very, very hard to do in the country. But Mark has done a lot of stuff with his council, his communities, his segments, and also projects here in the state, locally, and now even throughout the nation too. So with that, please welcome Chairman Mark Fox from the MHA Nation.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Must have ate a lot of food. All right, retired. I don't have 11 minutes and 40 seconds. And there's no way in hell Mark Fox is going to speak that fast, but we'll try. That being said, let's just dive into everything. I appreciate the opportunity to share, represent. Who are my MHA people, please? MHA, stand up. Where's my MHA? I see a couple there, Ken, and a couple of my friends from here, raising their hands. All right. Thank you for being a round of applause, MHA. All the things that we work on. Good job. Okay, here's what we're going. If this works correctly, let's hit the button. It does. Historical background. Real quick, as you can see on the map, this is very important to understanding who we are and where we come from. The reason why is because we're really rebuilding, reestablishing our economy. We're not trying to create an economy, we're reestablishing our economy. And why? We were Aboriginal trade centers for thousands of years, along the Missouri River primarily, but also its tributaries. So for thousands of years, we were Aboriginal trade centers in which we were one of the two largest of all of North America because we grew crops, corn, beans, squash, watermelon, at great vast quantities. And so we're the first farmers of the area as well too. And of course we did other things as well as the hunting and everything else, but that became the basis of our economy. And many other tribes, more nomadic tribes, would come to get our goods and to trade with us frequently. And that's where we were established, up and down the Missouri. The Rickeraw War of 1823, very important. Some of you watched the movie Revenant, some of your education may or may not be what have you, but the bottom line is that's really a Hollywood portrayal of what went on during that time period. 1823, Rickeraw War of 1823 is the first time that the United States government declares war against a tribe west of the Mississippi, and that happens to be against the Rickeraw of 1823. A result of that war that occurred was the Treaty of 1825. And in that treaty, many of the rights that we rely on today came to fruition. Rights to water, rights to the land, different rights that came later in subsequent treaties or in federal laws that were passed, like the Indian Reorganization Act. Some of the rights that we have in that first treaty outlast and are stronger than many of the things that have changed since that time. But anyway, we go on to the different treaties that we've had. 1851 Laramie, we had basically about 13 million acres. We were reduced down to today, where we're slightly more than 1 million acres, our reservation boundaries. And only half of that is really is tribally controlled, either tribal fee or tribal trust as well. We had some of the laws that came into place that drastically impacted us. The General Allotment Act, the Homestead Act, the 1944 Flood Control Act. All these things put us in a mode of diminishment for the last 200 years, diminishment of our lands and our base. And we've been working hard to change that ever since. Fort Berthold Reservation today has a stated million acres, have 17,500 plus members, 6 geographical political segments, and 7 members on the council. I'm the only representative on the council as chairman that's elected at large, but each district elects a chairman. And then every 2 years, we decide amongst the council who is to be the vice chairman, the secretary and treasurer, the other 3 executive officers as well. But I'm the only one elected at large. Economy, prior to energy development, our tribes relied on agriculture, primarily. Cattle and farming, we did a lot of it, very, very good at it. But that became our subsistence, the things that we thrived on. We relied very little on the federal government. Later on, after the flooding came, and they destroyed our economy by flooding our fertile bottomlands underneath the dam, the Garrison Dam. Then we came into government services, just like many other tribes, public contracting and things of that nature. And then eventually gaming, through the Indian Game Regulatory Act, we established our casino, Four Bears Casino, coming up now on a number of years here. They've got 33, but I think we're more than that. But anyway, we got 33 on the list. We've been using gaming since that time. We're going to talk a lot about things in 7 minutes here, so I'm going to go fast as I can. Economic impacts, energy development. You all know, you've heard, you know. This is the one that has most radically changed where we stand today when we talk about economies for MHA, economies for Fort Berthold, is the energy development, the discovery of oil and gas, right? And so with that coming into play, the Bakken Shale play underneath our feet, Fort Berthold Reservation is located in the heart of that formation, as you see in the map. It's basically about a 3,000 to 4,000 foot formation. There are other formations there, but that's the most primary one that has been developed to date. 3% of all, we produce more than 200,000 barrels per day. Probably getting closer to 300,000, but we right now produce just about 3% of all the crude produced in the United States is produced on Fort Berthold. And so that's a part of our strategy and being able to put that out forward. We have over nearly 3,000 active wells. Probably about 5,000 to 6,000 have been drilled, but currently we're still utilizing about 3,000 active wells. Energy and economic development, opportunities versus impediments. You see, I list them out. There are a number of things. There's always opportunities. Our goals to improve the standards for our people. We have in our members of the public and infrastructure. We have to invest in things. We diversify our economies as well. Support responsible energy development. That's for the long term. One day there will be no oil, but there will always be our people. And so we have to do this in a responsible manner as well. And then, of course, we need to eradicate federal dependency. One of the things that hurt us probably the most, all tribes throughout the United States, is our dependency on the federal government. The other impediments that exist is state infringement, taxation. You start a business and then in comes the state in some instances and want to tax individuals, tax activities within our boundaries. And so we have to be very careful. A very famous case called Cotton Petroleum came out that impacted our energy. We currently split our taxes with the state. We split that taxes. We have the right to tax, the state has the right to tax on certain barrels of oil that come out from a vendor, from a contractor, a lessor. And so we have that situation as well, or lessee, excuse me. And so we have to deal with those issues all the time. Federal regulations need to be fixed, etc. Lack of federal assistance to support some development, especially tribal energy. We're hoping for a big change to that with the upcoming administration. Insufficient access to capital. Many tribes don't have capital and have a hard time getting capital. We have the people, we have the resources, we have the plans, but capital becomes an impediment as well. Building an economy, rebuilding an economy, as I said earlier. You see all those different things that I've listed out, things that have to be done. You can't just establish an economy overnight. You've got to have the housing, the roads, the sewer, the infrastructure, all these things, the electricity, all these different things that you have in place, your workforce development, things that have to happen. And those are very important, or you'll never have the base to push your economy forward. And so they're very critical to do that as well. So I'm going to now start showing you some of the things in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, all the different things we've worked on, our chance to show this and that. There's so many that you can see down. You see right there, that's our new tribal headquarters, our emergency operations center out on the bypass, a beautiful building, public safety and judicial center, interpretive center. We have a number of things, the veteran center that we have, the kidney dialysis unit. We're now completing other units there as well, the dental and things of that nature. Community centers on almost all reservations, all the segments have them as well. Laundromats, car wash, child safety center. You can read for yourself. All those to the left are some things that we've already done, already created. These are examples of the new community centers. There's beautiful community centers in Twin Buttes and Whiteshill, and we're getting them completed as well. In Newtown's working on theirs. Parcel's just about done. In a few months, we'll be done with theirs as well too. MHA recovery services. You got to have a sober workforce. You got to have stability within your families, within your society, and a raging drug problem that decimates you will undermine your ability to have an economy. So we think it's better to pay now than pay later. And so we invest a lot of money into our people and into our families with our recovery services. New schools, that is where we're going to get people that are going to move forward. Our children are going to become the citizens that they are, get educated, be our workforce, be our business leaders, be our economy leaders and things of that nature as well. And we've already built 3 schools with a new school coming in Twin Buttes in a very short amount of time. What we're doing right now, here's Native Green Grow. You heard about our new indoor ag program, our greenhouse. We call it NG2. You know, that is our copyright on that. We're already growing food in there, lettuce primarily right now. But we got a number of things with tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, strawberries. You know, you're not much of a sovereign if you have a difficulty feeding yourself. And this is not only our objective, we're going to do what we did 1,000 years ago. We're going to grow food and we're going to sell it to other people. And we're going to use it as a source of trade and economy as well. Housing projects, you gotta have housing for people. Our gaming development, we are building a new gaming facility to the south to tap on that market in the White Shield area. But we also got Four Bears Casino, a brand new hotel that the tribe is funding for our management. But I think a 7-story hotel. And so that's going to be a significant part of what we do. We have the Four Bears Destination Resort. We really want Fort Berthold to be a destination resort. But all these things that we have put into place and are starting to put more into place, we have the riverboat, the RV park, boat docks and ramps, camping areas, our water park. We keep adding on to that as well. Playground and recreation and development and things of that nature. You see the beautiful Four Bears Bridge looking from a drone from that angle there. We're building a brand new national park along the Little Missouri as well. And then that's going very well for us as well. New health facilities, I mentioned those. We have a medical campus, but also in Mandaree, we did some buildings. We're developing them. We've got others as well too. So a thrill and chill zone. You see there, we've got a new family fun center as you come into Newtown. It's just about set to be open. I hope within the next 30 days. We will be open, 60 at the most, and we'll be moving it out. Where are we going? Last minute, bear with me, Scotty, back there. Where are we going? Las Vegas Investment and Development. Get a lot of criticism on this. But the things I'm going to tell you before, even though the plans are not yet cemented and concrete exactly what we're going to do, the prospects are very high. Let alone, we picked up this property for $112 million, basically about 24, nearly 25 acres. An assessment done just about 2 months ago puts that value now at $285 million just by the investment by itself. Now, if we develop that with our neighbors behind us, a new Oakland A's stadium, if you look at that picture, those 2 white buildings don't exist anymore. That's the Tropicana. Tropicana's been torn down. That's where the new Oakland A's are building their brand new $2 billion stadium as well. We're walking distance to Allegiant, walking distance to T-Mobile and things of that nature. So it's a very good investment, and we're going to have revenue for our people for the next 50 to 100 years that can come back for programs at home. Regenerative medicine. We're going to get into regenerative medicine, use of stem cells. We have partnered with a clinic out of California that's going to help us build, and we've already started digging in the ground, putting the building up. And we believe not only can we treat diabetes, we believe with science and technology, we can cure diabetes. And we will be the first clinic of its kind in all of the United States based upon the way we're going to move forward in our plans of development. We will be the very first in this utilization of the stem cells the way we intend to. Well, final last ones here, gas capture and we do so many of these things. Gas is so critical. It's more critical at this point than our crude. So we want to capture that. We want to convert to hydrogen. We're going to do power generation. We have 3 major multi-billion-dollar energy projects. When completed in the next 3 to 4 years, these projects will bring in us 400 to 500% more money than we receive today and revenue to help our people even more. And those include in that LNGs to the West Coast for foreign trade. It includes the hydrogen facility and power generation, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is a program. You build tanks, federal government comes in, they buy your oil from you, and then they pay you every day to store the oil, store their oil. And then when it's ready to move out, you charge them again when you move it out. Then they want to fill it again, then they buy your oil again. Then they pay you every day to hold their oil in your tanks. This is the type of projects that we're putting forward to maximize what we have. That's it for me, as fast as I could. 3 minutes over, it's pretty darn good. One word of advice, no matter what the hell you do out there and who you are, I don't know any, I know some of you, I don't know you all. But I'm gonna say this, look at this picture very closely. I might be smiling, but you're gonna have to be fighting all the time. If you're gonna go home and make a difference for your people, make a difference for what you wanna do, get ready to get the arrows in the back and the hits behind the head and everything else, criticize them. Everything is what can't be done. You shouldn't do this, you can't do that, you don't do that. If you listen to that all the time, you'll do nothing. So at some point in time, just say, we're going to do these things. Damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead, all right? And that's how you get things done. Thank you for listening to me today.
Makatanan na panahaya name's Kenny Barrios. I'm a cultural liaison for the Santa Rosa Rancheria Tachioca tribe. I'm also a tribal member. January, we had a little bit of rain come, and when that little bit of rain came, it brought a lot more rain. And all that water cleansed the whole valley.
My name's Robert Jeff. I'm the vice chairman of the Santa Rosa Rancheria Tachioca tribe. Oh, July was a big time for our people. The land started flooding again. You know, Creator blessed us with enough water to refill a portion of the Tulare Lake. You know, when we think about that lake and what that lake provided for us, it provided everything. So when that lake was taken away and we were dependent on the government, we started getting all these sicknesses that came along with it. So we were being rationed food that wasn't good for us. We were given land that we couldn't even farm on. You know, so there was a lot of things that happened to our people that a lot of people don't understand or they don't even want to hear about because it's hard to hear.
We are Yokatspa-Ashi. We are the Tulare Lake people. We are Tatsai. We are the mud ducks. We named ourselves after the mud duck because every year all the birds would fly south for the winter and the mud duck would stay here with the water, with the lake.
Oh, the lake's being separated by all the dams that they have up into the mountains here in the Central Valley. We got to remove those dams. We got to get people to think a little bit differently about their approach and how they want to live out here in this valley. If we keep going down the path that we're going on, I mean, all of us are going to have to eventually pack up and leave this area because the aquifers are being contaminated, the land's being contaminated, the air's being contaminated, and the worst part is that water that we all need to survive is being contaminated as well. I mean, opening up the basin is going to allow for that flood to come back down into the valley and spread its medicine all over the land. And if we get enough water, that water would overflow and head back out into the delta. And what we need to happen here in the valley today is for that flood and flow to happen again.
This air needs this water. You know, without the water in the air, then people start getting sick, allergies. We have a thing in the ground, it's called valley fever. You know, and that right there comes up out of the ground if the ground's too dry all the time. You know, and that's why all this water is back because of all the prayers that were asked. You know, everybody was asking for water. You gotta watch out what we ask for. Us as Native people, we don't take more than what we need. It takes years and years for this water to go back down into the ground to replenish the aquifer that has been depleted.
There's enough land out here to farm. There's enough land out here to develop, and there's enough land out here for all of us. You know, when we think about this area and this valley housed the highest concentrations of Native Americans than anywhere in this country of its size, and we never had to farm. What I want to tell the farmers is that let's talk. You know, let's sit down, let's break bread, and let's start getting a better understanding of what life needs to be like here in this valley. It's sad that we have to have a casino over there to take care of our people, but at the same time, we have something to help us take care of our people right now. Now we got health care, we got homes, we got roads, we got food. We want to recreate the environment that was once here, so we're gonna be pumping water back in the slough and we're gonna circulate it through our community. It's hard to look back and think that the tribes don't have the first in time, first and right to this water out here in the valley. And as a tribe, you know, we get water from the Last Chance Ditch. You know, so there's a lot of other people, a lot of other companies, a lot of other entities that are getting this water before even the tribe does. If we all had the lake here for all of us, there's so much benefits to everybody and everything. The aquifers will get better, the air will get better, we'll get more rain. We're going to continue to pray, we're going to continue to sing, we're going to continue to dance, but we're going to continue to get out there into the communities and talk to our people about our opinions of this situation.
Mahatanana Panaya Truhelemanan Mahatanana Panaya Truhelemanan Yo Helemana Yo Helemana.
MHA Nation Parks and Reserve hosted the first hike down by Lost Bridge on the Little Missouri River.
Mary Fredericks, I'm the Program Director Administrator of the Three Affiliated Tribes Parks and Reserve Program, and we are having our first official hike in our Three Affiliated Tribes National Park. We're pretty excited about it. We've been working on this project for about 2 years, and we have a trail cut in. We'll be opening it via website. You can get permits on the website. We're very lucky. Our tribe purchased about 2,100 acres right off the reservation, just straight south of our reservation on the Little Missouri River. And we worked and got the land put in trust. And now in August, the Secretary of Interior signed a proclamation. And so our park is now within the boundaries of Fort Berthold. And we're going to be able to move that sign that says, "Welcome to Fort Berthold," from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. So we're pretty excited, and I'm thankful that our tribe is committed to preservation and conservation, and I feel like ecotourism is going to be a big thing. This will be a place where people can come and be introduced to the park and introduced to our landscape, the natural resources we have, start to look at our culture, and then they'll push in and go to the interpretive center, get more information on our culture, and just starting to educate people and become more friendly with our neighbors.
Hikers were offered blood pressure and sugar tests and a water station set up along the trail, and even TAT Fire Management was on the scene.
Today we were just helping out with Parks and Rec and help getting things set up. Just helping out where we can.
Real good exercise, and I recommend.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that the whole a couple of families went up there with their kids, and like that. I kept thinking the whole time that it's nice for them to be able to get out there, wear them out before before bedtime. That's a great way to do it. Get back to the basics again.
I would say just if you're interested, contact us via the phone, and we'll talk. And their next big push is for our visitor center up on top. We're always going to work on trails and keep doing trails, and it's a development process. We're just going through developing.
Check out the website for more information and to apply for a free permit for you or your group to hike your very own MHA Nations National Park.
Are you addicted to drugs? Narcotics Anonymous can help. If you are interested in Narcotics Anonymous and cannot make it to a physical meeting, or are wanting to experience the Fellowship of Recovering Addicts online, visit virtual-na.org to learn more about online meetings and meetings over the phone. Are you addicted to drugs? Narcotics Anonymous can help. If you are interested in Narcotics Anonymous and cannot make it to a physical meeting, or are wanting to experience the Fellowship of Recovering Addicts online, visit virtual-na.org to learn more about online meetings and meetings over the phone.
Recovery is what happens at NA meetings. It is possible to stop using drugs.
Call Narcotics Anonymous